Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 18th. It's December. It's 2024. Actually, it's the 17th. My bad. It was early in the morning. And here we go again. It's amazing to me how many quote-unquote truthers are completely blind or smoking heavily on the hopium pipe. Because a channel that I followed for a long time, they've been around as long as I have, maybe actually not quite that long, but whatever. End Times Productions. Last night he put out a video saying he's blowing the lid off this entire drone thing.
All right, everybody, I just stumbled across something major, and it might just blow the lid off of this entire New Jersey drone mystery. Buried deep in the records of the United States Nuclear Regulation Commission, there is a report that nobody seems to be talking about. It's dated December 13th, 2024, just a few days ago. And what it says, well, this is the kind of thing that makes you sit up straight and start asking questions they don't want you to ask. So here's the deal. On December 2nd, 2024, a 𝗗𝗲𝗰𝗲𝗿 pin source, basically a small but significant amount of radioactive material, went missing in transit. This wasn't a paperwork error, folks. The report says that the container was meant for safe disposal. It arrived at its destination, damaged and empty. Let me say that again. The container carrying radioactive material arrived empty, and it looked like the container that it was in was broken open. Did somebody steal it? That's the question everybody's going to be asking now. So this material vanished somewhere between Newfield, New Jersey, and its destination. Now, on the exact day that this material went missing, across the skies of New Jersey, people started reporting these drones.
Wow, he must have something really good. And he pulls up the missing radioactive pin. And this is disinformation right here, okay? The missing radioactive material that he's quacking about is from an MRI machine. It's not significant in any way whatsoever at all. It's like the printer ink cartridges in your printers at your house or at your work, okay? It's not, you'll see. He's saying on December 2nd, 2024, a cargo container containing nuclear material, radioactive material that was supposed to be disposed of went missing. And that's why all the drones are in the sky in Jersey. Okay, that's a fun story. Do you remember Event 201, where they were putting out non-stop lies about COVID and the vaccines and this, that, and the other thing? Because it was a PSYOP, you know what I mean? The drones showed up November 18th, all over the world. And he's saying it's because of this thing that happened on December 2nd. What are you even talking about, dude? You're spreading really bad misinformation. It blows me away that somebody that's been around as long as he has is putting this out. And the amount of people watching the videos and thumbs up is phenomenal. Because nobody wants to understand that this is a psychological operation to wean us into whatever it is they're going to do on Christmas Eve. Do you see what I'm saying? This is just, I don't know, man. I don't even get it anymore. I understand. People want to hope that it's something noble that the United States government is doing. The United States government isn't our government. They don't care about us. They've been showing that for the last couple of years. In the last 6 months, pretty hardcore. As a matter of fact, not telling us why they're flying drones everywhere and scaring the hell out of American citizens, that's treason, dude. That's terrorism, okay? A container ship with a small amount of radioactive material, if that's even real, because going off the Nuclear Regulatory Committee's graphs and amounts of radiation in the sky and air is completely, it's not accurate, okay? For years I've made videos every time a power plant went down and spilled, the NRC would simply change the amount of radiation that was safe for humanity. Do you see what I'm saying? It's early too. You gotta cut me some slack here. But I woke up at 11 o'clock at night and started watching that videos and started taking notes because it pissed me off so bad. they're putting out misdirection and channels are running with it. I knew about this radioactive cargo container disappearing about 4 days ago, but I knew what it was when I saw it. This is part of the PSYOP. This is disinformation. This is pushing people in another direction. It doesn't explain how something goes missing in the United States and we've got drones over Germany, drones over the UK, etc., so forth, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's unreal, man. It's unbelievable how quick people fall for anything that's easier than what the reality is. These guys are going to open some portals, and I believe we're going to see some epic drone wars. And what we're going to consider drones are probably going to be powers, principalities, or maybe even angels fighting against demonic AI, quote-unquote, drones. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I thought so, too.
Drones over New Jersey, clearly not drones. They held congressional hearings yesterday, FBI, Homeland Security, military, everybody. The only thing to take away from all that is they all say they don't know what they are. The Coast Guard documented and saw 50 of these things coming out of the ocean, following the boat for a little while, going inland, and then returning back into the ocean. So that's wild. And now there are all kinds of photos and videos. Check this out. That's what they're getting on high telephoto lens from multiple people, regular people and the government. That's what they look like. That is not a drone. And that is not the only one. They are, I don't think they're vehicles anymore. Check out this one, this video. This thing looks like something. This video, this thing looks like something out of Close Encounters of the Third Kind or something right out of the Bible. Looks like a wheel within a wheel. And let's take a look at what a wheel within a wheel. If you don't know, that is stated many times in the Bible. Here, like this one, and in artworks from all across time. I have a degree in art, three-dimensional art. To get that, 2 years of art history. We studied a lot of these in art history. I remember a lot of these different drawings and paintings from art history. They were never spoken of as UFOs. They always had religious context put around them, like how a lot of people are saying this is spiritual. There is a telepathic end to this going on. What is this coming from? And one thing that I've just picked up on, Google's new quantum chip. They turned that on not long ago. And in the article where they were talking about what it did, they said it was so incredibly fast that they could only speak to that it's pulling information from parallel universes and the multiverse, which is more parallel universes. That is what Google said about their new quantum chip, a computer chip. We've crossed a technology level and repeatedly, but now evidently we've probably crossed into something. There is all sci-fi. Every single movie, Hollywood has zero creativity in them. Every single one of those movies is probably based on some piece of real information. Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, he said he didn't create that. That dude said that some being showed up in his living room one night and told him he was going to create this show, Star Trek, laid it all out for him. He says the Prime Directive, all of it, the Federation, all of that kind of, that they told him that's how it was going to be. And I don't know if you ever want it was going to be. And I don't know if you ever watch any of that. Star Trek First Contact, they say they light up the first warp engine and you got aliens the next day that show up. So what do we got going on? Who knows? Who knows? But evidently nobody knows. So you better prepare yourself, watch yourself some sci-fi movies because 2025 is going to get wild.
So suddenly Google has come out, they've unveiled a quantum chip and it's doing exactly what I've been saying for years that it's doing. It's pulling information from other dimensions, okay? Do you see what I'm saying? It's pulling information from other dimensions. It's not going to a database. It's literally doing exactly what we've been predicting it's doing, because when you look at this from a biblical lens, it all makes sense. Even though none of this makes sense, but it all makes sense. You see what I mean? Remember D-Wave? This was D-Wave's commercial 9 years ago. And they're showing somebody asking it a question. It goes inside the black cube that is colder than outer space, and it simply pulls the answer. It solves the problem by pulling the answer out of other dimensions. Okay? It's crazy. And people that have been whistleblowing on this stuff have literally started turning up dead.
A former artificial intelligence researcher with OpenAI has died. 𝗗𝗲𝗰𝗲𝗿𝗲 was found dead in his San Francisco home on November 26. 𝗲𝗲𝗰𝗲 was known for his whistleblowing of the AI company. The medical examiner's office determined his death to be suicide. His death comes just 3 months after he accused OpenAI of violating U.S. copyright law while developing ChatGPT.
So let's talk about what Google has said. They say hundreds of researchers and engineers have conversed with LaMDA. They were not aware of anyone else making these kind of wide-ranging assertions the way that you have. You know, we do have some of the transcripts that you shared.
So I covered this a few years ago, but this was them a couple of years ago where Google engineers were saying the company's AI has come to life. The company's AI has come to life. How long have we been telling you that? Seriously, how long have we been saying this to you? So you'd... What we've got right here, do you guys remember this? This is one of the first things that actually made me well known to the entire world, was Jade Helm. Remember this? This was way back in 2015. Everybody was talking about Jade Helm, so I drove from Boston to Texas to see it for myself. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. This video isn't going to be about a $2,000-$3,000 knife. This is going to be about Jade Helm. Look up Jade Helm if you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you do know what I'm talking about, Jade Helm has been out of the bag for what, maybe 3.5 weeks now? Okay, long story short, Jade Helm was literally an operation where some of the best military special operators, Delta Force, Navy SEALs, Recon Marines, etc., they were hiding all over the place. And what they were hiding from was AI. They were literally seeing if AI could use all the cameras they've installed on all the stoplights, all the buildings, all the banks, all the police cars, all the cell phones. They wanted to see if the special forces operators could elude, if they could elude the AI. And they actually did. They actually did. But this was a long time ago. This was 10 years ago. We're probably 250 years in technology past that point for the military and the government and the elitists. You see what I'm saying? So what's going on right now is they're literally doing the same thing as Jade Helm, except instead of simply using cameras, it's using drones. AI is learning, messing with, and getting ready to announce itself, but it's going to call itself aliens, UFOs. But we know what it is. These are demonic fallen entities straight up. And it's using Grok, the super AI that Elon Musk built. You know, everybody's good friend Elon Musk. Grok is using the drones to gauge human reactions, military reactions, other governments' reactions, etc., because it's such a big mystery. It's not a mystery. You want to hear something that's really ironic? I'm in Mississippi. NASA is right there, right on the other side of those trees. How crazy is that? I just thought I'd throw that in there. At any rate, what we're seeing with the drones every place is NASA, is Jade Helm 2025, but they're just not announcing it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Because it isn't, they're not looking for a literal radioactive thing from an MRI, okay? That is complete, pure misinformation. They have to put something out there to keep stringing people along. Nothing to fear. It's the government doing the right thing. The government never does the right thing, and the government's not even hiding it anymore. This kid is so poorly researched on this subject, it's amazing to me, because he keeps saying over and over again that on December 2nd, the exact day that this medical imaging radioactive material, we're not even talking about uranium or plutonium, if that was even real. We're not talking about nuclear weapon, ICBM radiation. We're talking about medical waste. That's what this stuff is. It's medical waste. It's used for medical imaging, okay? And he keeps saying over and over, The exact day that this went missing is the exact day the drone started. Well, maybe in your little part of the world, but the rest of us, these drones showed up on the 18th of November and have been going strong ever since. So his entire video, with probably 100,000 or more views by now, is being lapped up by people who now suddenly think the government's doing something noble for us. They are not, okay? Do not get it twisted, people. And I know it sucks to face this, but people like myself and hundreds of others have been trying to prepare you and give you the knowledge that you need to be prepared when a day like this comes. A day like this is coming, man. We have too many things all coalescing at the same time. Israel takes over Mount Hermon. And a really funny story about Mount Hermon, I'll actually show it to you from one of the people I met out in California. So recently I drove all the way out to California to meet up with one subscriber, and I mentioned him in a video earlier. His name's Paul. And he's the guy I suggested he should start putting his thoughts down on his phone and posting them. Well, here's a text that he sent me, and this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Okay. Here's one of those texts I told you would be coming. I've been stewing on this ever since you left. That'll have to wait because I have to tell you what I just found out. A tornado just hit in Scotts Valley today. That doesn't happen. It's literally just a couple of miles from the campground you stayed at in Felton. This is out. I'm surrounded by redwood trees. You don't get tornadoes here because there's no open areas for a tornado to actually get some steam going. You know what I'm saying? But look at this. Not only did the tornado just miss where I was, I rolled out and a tornado rolled in 10 to 15 minutes from his house. And get this, touchdown on Mount Hermon Road. The tornado came and touched down on Mount Hermon Road. Mount Hermon. I mean, dude, what are the odds in a million years? The day that tornado touched down, I had been talking about Mount Hermon, and I continued talking about Mount Hermon because it plays. Israel, after whatever, you know what I'm saying. How crazy is that? And then last year, I was staying in Santa Cruz on a wharf. I was literally camping overnight on a wharf. I woke up and I had to leave. I just woke up and I wrapped up and I rolled out. The next day, the wharf that I was on was gone because a storm came in, massive waves washed it away. How insane is that? But a tornado shows up in the redwoods right where I was, and it touched down on Mount Hermon Road. Yeah, things are happening all around us. Israel takes over Mount Hermon suddenly. After half a century, they just invade Syria, take over Mount Hermon. The ritual at Notre Dame is completely 100% totally demonic. The entire time the cardinal stood there yammering, he never once mentioned the word Jesus Christ. How do you do that? How do you do that if you're a Christian bishop? Because they aren't, and they're not hiding it. We've got a live stream coming from the tomb of Paul, from Paul's tomb, and 5 other portals, including one in a prison, that they're going to live stream so everybody can take part in the ritual. And then we've got all sorts of scuttlebutt talking about Space Force is doing a big event, and it culminates on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, we keep hearing Christmas Eve popping up way too many times. And hopefully people will be able to understand. I don't know how this is all going to play out. But I hope people are able to recognize it for what it is. Because the amount of nonsense being pushed by channels that people trust is off the hook. Exactly on December 2nd is when the drone showed up. Nope, not at all. Not even close. Not even a little, okay? Almost 3 weeks prior. But again, I'll digress. And another thing, he's claiming that law enforcement has been putting drones up in New Jersey and that these mystery drones have been taking them out. There isn't one single solid, substantiated claim by any law enforcement officers whatsoever at all that their drones have been taken out. As a matter of fact, the state police commander in Jersey was hovering their helicopter above one of these drones. You know what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. They decided to land the helicopter because of public safety or fear for their own lives, because they're there to protect and serve. Unless, of course, something bad's going to happen to them, then they got to, you know, shoot an American or whatever. I don't know. I shouldn't have said that. But it is what it is. It's early, and I am pissed. And why am I so pissed off about this? Because people like this with 800,000 subscribers putting out exactly what the powers that be want them to put out opens the door for a false flag dirty bomb. You see what I mean? He's helping perpetuate the propaganda for the people perpetrating this entire thing on us. I can't believe how many police cars are escorting a tractor trailer with an I-beam on it. That's out of left field, whatever. But that's why it pisses me off. Some of us are going out of our way, spending all our time, energy, and effort trying to compile actual information to give people whatever head start we can. And then you have assholes like this that have never been taken off of YouTube. They're at almost 1 million, and they're putting out incredibly bad information because he keeps saying things like, December 2nd is when the drone showed up. Dude, do a crumb of research before you put out a video of this magnitude. You won't believe what I found out about New Jersey drones. He found out nothing because everything he says in his video is wrong. And that makes me mad. So there it is. Okay, that's pretty much it for this video, but I hope you understand what this is. This is Jade Helm 2.0. I'm going to talk later on. Hopefully I can get him on camera, or at least his voice, to two guys that are special forces in out west, we'll call them. And I want to see what their opinion is on this entire thing, if they can give it. They might have to stay anonymous, but it doesn't matter. Any information we can get is helpful. At any rate, Richie from Boston, pray unceasingly. Seriously, I'm out.